Hey everyone, I finished watching the next episode of Time Force, Trust and Triumph. This is a pretty good episode. Uh, Jen's really angry for some reason. Something's really bothering her in this one. I don't know what it is. Anyway, let's see. It starts off with the Rangers are setting a trap for Nadira. Nadira is robbing some building, and as she comes out, Wes is supposed to like distract her in the front or something. But anyway, before he can do that, the Silver Guardians show up and he can't take his proper position. So then he is trying to get around him. He gets to Nadira, but then she teleports away. And then the other Rangers show up, and then Jen gets all mad at him for not being there and whatever or something. I don't quite know what was going on. Also, I don't know why it matters since Nadira could teleport away just whenever. Like, it's a thing she can just do whenever, so it seems like it'd be really hard to capture her at all. Like, even if they were able to handcuff her, couldn't she, like, hypothetically teleport out of it? Whatever. Anyway, uh, Jen, like, stays angry at Wes for quite a while after this, and, like, even back to the clock tower, she's still mad at him about it, and there's a part where, like, Wes is getting frustrated with her, and when Jen says, I don't know if I can trust you anymore, and he's like, trust is a two-way street. I don't know anything about you. You never open up. And before this can continue, the new mutant is attacking. Oh, the new mutant, TurtleCon. For some reason, I thought his name was Turtletron. I remember seeing this episode when I was younger, and for whatever reason, I always thought it was Turtletron. And it's weird because they only say his name, I think, once. And it is clearly said TurtleCon. So I don't know why I always thought Tron, and also why that name stuck in my mind at all. Anyway, this mutant, when it first shows up, it's at Rancic's base, and it has this weird ability to create, like, illusions, or, or different dimensions. I don't know. It gets confusing what exactly is going on. It shows Nadira's like dressed up in like a Hawaiian hula thing. She's dancing on a beach, and then it disappears and she's on the base, and it was all an illusion caused by Turtle Khan's little device that he has. And so then Turtle Khan attacks. The Rangers go to fight him, and let's see. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, he uses the device on the Rangers, and they're sent to this other dimension where there's evil doppelganger Rangers. So, okay, the device can create illusions, and also it can send you to another dimension. Or is this an illusion? I don't know. The rest of the episode treats this like it's a different dimension. But then at the end of the episode, the device has yet another ability. So I'm kind of wondering, why didn't Rancic just leave this mutant frozen and take the device? Because it seems like Rancic could get a lot more use out of this device than this monster who just kind of does whatever and can't really fight himself. Whatever. In the other dimension, there's these evil doppelganger Time Force Rangers fighting the normal Rangers, and this is like kind of a unique one, or all tongue-tied. This is kind of a unique instance with double Rangers, because usually Ranger doubles that are evil have some kind of visual indicator of them not being the normal Rangers. Either, like, they have, like in Mighty Morphin, they had the Mutant Rangers who had, or actually, in Mighty Morphin, they did have, like, evil Rangers who just looked normal, but then they also had the Mutant Rangers who had black gloves and boots. Then they had, oh yeah, the Shadow Rangers and Turbo who had gray helmets, and also the Robot Rangers, although they weren't evil. In Space had the Psycho Rangers who had completely different suits than the normal Rangers. In Lightspeed, there were the Cyborg Rangers with the little antennas and the little box things on their chests. But in here, the Doppelganger Rangers are just normal looking. And with like a major theme of the episode being like Jen and Wes don't know if they can trust each other, I thought like I haven't seen this in a while, so I kept thinking, oh, so the plot is going to be they have to trust each other to know who the bad guy is, but no, the bad guys don't really like they could be anything. They don't need to be Rangers. The other weird thing is they don't talk. They're just completely silent. So Yeah, there's no way they could, like, confuse them for one of them, because all they have to do is talk and they would know that it's them. So, and the other weird thing is the doppelganger rangers do target their corresponding color ranger, but again, it doesn't really matter. Whatever. It's just a weird thing that usually, like, evil rangers would be its own episode, but instead they're just kind of one of the obstacles the monster throws in the way of the rangers. Anyway, Jen and Wes manage to escape the other dimension. They get back to the clock tower. Circuit tells them how to get the other rangers out of the dimension. So then they go and they set the trap for TurtleCon, and Jen finally opens up to Wes and talks to him about who she is, why she feels the way she does. And we get a really cool flashback to the future. This is so confusing when a character from the future goes to the past and then thinks about their past, which is in the future. Anyway, it shows when she had first started at Time Force, things were really tough and she wasn't sure she could do it and she was thinking of quitting, but then she met Alex and Alex gave her confidence to keep going, and he taught her, like, how to do everything, and she learned a lot from him, and that's probably part of, like, where her, like, very strict business, like, crap, I don't know the word I'm thinking of, like, she means business type of attitude that she has, probably came from Alex. Especially considering, like, what we know about Alex later on in the season, like, how he acts, probably rubbed off a bit on Jen. Maybe Jen didn't realize that it would be as bad as it would get later on, but back to the story. Wes, like, is starting to understand a little bit more about Jen. So anyway, then the monster attacks. Let's see. Jen goes back into the dimension. Wes and her have to, like, synchronize their something or other and shoot a laser at the same time at some spot, and it will break the dimension. And so then they break the dimension. TurtleCon grows big. They get the Megazord. They get the Time Shadow Megazord. And oh yeah, and TurtleCon, his device, the next thing it does, it can create illusions. It can send you to another dimension, and it can also make a double of the Megazord in the real world. Okay. So a lot of the ending is just them fighting the double of the Megazord, and when it comes time to fight TurtleCon himself, they just shoot him a few times and he's dead. Or well, he turns into the little action figure, bounces on the ground, and I guess they put him in cryostasis. Yeah, not a particularly tough monster. Maybe that's why he had the device, because that's really his only thing. He can't fight on his own, he's just stuck using the thing. So then the Rangers go back to the clock tower, and Wes has a really cool thing to show them. He takes them upstairs, the stairs he told Katie not to go up a while ago in Legend of the Clock Tower or whatever. She changed time, so I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, and this is something weird. The last episode, I think? I don't know. One of the episodes I was just watching, there was no end, like, next time on Power Rangers sequence. Oh, I guess it was last episode or the one before that. Legend of the Clock Tower was placed there on the episode list on Ranger Wiki. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Because on the DVD, it's pretty early in the series. So I don't know what's going on there. I think it's air date order on Ranger Wiki, except for certain things, but most of the time I think it's air date order. But I don't know. So that's weird. If anybody knows why they swapped the episode around, tell me in the comments, because I don't know. Maybe it's like a production order thing, or maybe there's a continuity reason. Was there any continuity thing? I think Legend of the Clock Tower could go just about anywhere in the series. I don't remember if the Time Shadow was in it or not. That's like the one thing that might have messed up. Whatever. Back to this thing. Wes takes him upstairs and shows him this thing he made. It's a little, like, shooting range, except all the targets are little cardboard drawings of some of the mutants they've fought up till now. So then he gets a suction cup dart gun, gives it to Jen, she misses, and he's like, oh, let me try that, and he gets it around the back, pew, and it's a funny moment. Anyway, gives it back to Jen, and she's trying to aim it right. I'm guessing this is a different gun than she's used to. So then Wes helps her aim the thing, and she has a flashback to Alex doing the same thing when she was starting out at Time Force and trying to aim the gun right, and this is when she starts to see Wes as more than like just this guy, but she starts to see him as like, oh, I really like him. He reminds me of that guy I like, and that's the beginning, the spark of their relationship for the rest of the season. And that's pretty cool that they could work something in like that. So then, let's see, yeah, episode's over with. And oh, and also this whole thing of Wes helping her aim helps her to realize that Wes does have trust in her, just like Alex. And that's cool. So, anyway, this episode's fine. It starts off kind of rocky with, like, how over the top angry Jen is with Wes. Although it is kind of compensated with Wes being frustrated right back at her because she's so frustrated with him for seemingly not much reason. And also, like I said, the other dimension thing was really confusing. Like, I guess the device maybe has different abilities, but at the beginning they set it up that it just makes illusions, but then it sends the Rangers to another dimension, then it can make doubles. Actually, with the Ranger doubles, I kind of wonder why didn't they just make that the plot? Why'd they have to bother with the alternate dimension thing? Why couldn't they just have it be he makes doubles of the Rangers, and then also, like, he's in this protected dimension because he's the only one who really looks like he's in another dimension, aside from like the weird lighting in the other dimension. I don't know. Whatever. I'm sure it has something to do with the Japanese Time Ranger footage because I haven't watched Time Ranger in forever, and also I don't think I watched this episode. Maybe I did. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, nothing else to say. I liked this episode. It was a good one. Looking forward to the next one. The next one's, I think, a trip focus episode, so that'll be cool. So yeah, that's it for this one. See ya.